All right, let's get started. Welcome to Tech Tuesday. Today I will be walking you through how to use Microsoft 365 on your library Chromebook. If you have a Chromebook that is not issued from the library, all of this stuff will work exactly the same. It just might look a little bit different on your screen. So let's go ahead and get started. I am Rebecca Noggle. I am an adjunct faculty librarian at the Harper College Library. I have my contact information on the screen. It's rnoggle, N-O-G-G-L-E, at harpercollege.edu. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to email me. My coworker and associate is Carrie Littell. Her contact information is also up on the screen, and she will also be able to help with any questions that you have. So please feel free to contact either of us if you have any questions after the presentation today. All right, so what are we going to cover today? Today we're going to cover how to download the Microsoft Office 365 app to your Chromebook, how to then log into your 365 account, how to navigate on your Chromebook, so how to find that app once you've downloaded it, and how to pin it to your shelf on your launcher. We're going to talk about how to open a new document, so that's a Word, Excel, or PowerPoint, and we're going to save that document, and then we're going to talk about how to share that document. The last thing we're going to talk about is how to navigate the Office toolbar, which is where all the tools are required to edit or change your documents, such as, fonts or text sizes. All right, so what do you do if you have questions? Just go ahead and contact us, make a note of this. I noticed that when I uploaded my slides to Blackboard, it kind of went a little wonky there. So yeah, my email address is rnoggle@harpercollege.edu. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go over a little bit of vocabulary that I'm going to be using throughout the presentation, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page and can follow along. All right, so your Chromebook that you have is a mobile device. What is a mobile device compared to a computer? A mobile device is a portable computing device designed to run most of its functions through the internet instead of internal hardware. So you're thinking about smartphones, tablets, Chromebooks, all of these things rely on the internet for a bulk of their running, instead of a computer, which really relies on downloaded software that's installed on it. So then we're going to talk about apps. Apps are applications, and they are programs that are made specifically to run on mobile devices. So they're a little bit different from software, as they provide kind of like a framework or a shell, and then a lot of their content is then accessed through the internet. Unlike a computer, a desktop or a laptop computer, where you have software that is installed on your device, and a majority of the function is running through installed software. Okay. A browser. So a browser is a type of application, and what it does is it provides access to the internet. We have a bunch of different kinds of browsers, and we have Chrome, Internet Explorer, or Microsoft Edge, as it was recently renamed, Firefox, and Safari. Now, these all do the same thing. They are just made by different companies. And essentially what they do is they provide access to the internet. So you open it up, and it has the screen and the web address bar and kind of like a window. So when you type in that web address or you click on that link, it's going to show up in that window. And that's how it provides access to the internet. All right. Okay, cloud storage. So the main saving on your Chromebook is going to be done through cloud storage. Cloud storage is saving a file to a place on the internet that can then be accessed from any place with an internet connection. So if you save it to the cloud and you're on your Chromebook, and then you go to the library and you want to access it from a computer, all you have to do is log into your account. You're going to see your drive, and you're going to see all of your files that you've saved there. So it works really great. You don't have to remember to have your memory stick with you all the time. You can save it on one device and open it on another. You can open it on your tablet. You could open it on your phone. You could open it on a computer. You can definitely open it on your Chromebook. So the different types of cloud storage that we see commonly are Google Drive, OneDrive, and Dropbox, but there are a bunch. So Google Drive is obviously from Google, and OneDrive is from Microsoft. When you have a Microsoft 365 account, you also get a OneDrive account with storage. And when you set a Chromebook, you signed up for a Google account, which also comes with some storage in Google Drive. So you can choose which one you want to save things to, but you probably want to pick one and save all of your files there. That way it doesn't get messy, and you're not like trying to figure out where you saved something. All right, so the launcher is the bar located at the bottom of the screen on your Chromebook. So when you click on the launcher button all the way to the left, it's like right here, that's going to expand your launcher, and it's going to show you all the different apps that are on and available on your Chromebook. The launcher has this shelf here, and you can pin apps to it, which means they will just stay there, and you won't have to expand the launcher to find that app. It will also show you apps that are currently running. So that's what our launcher looks like on our Chromebook. And over here we have our settings. So a quick way to connect to the internet, see what time it is, see what your battery life is. And then we have the toolbar. So for Micro 365, the bar along the top of the screen when you open that app is your toolbar. And this is what's going to allow you to make changes to your documents. So size, bold, italics, underlines, changing your line spacings, and there's just a lot of different options. All right. Okay, so the very first thing that we need to do is make sure that you have Microsoft Office on your Chromebook. So I'm going to run you through those steps. On screen right now, I have the steps. So we're just going to open the Google App Store. We're going to use the search bar to search for Microsoft Office. We're going to click on install, and when the application finishes downloading, we're going to open that. So I'm going to switch over now to a live screen capture so I can walk you through that process with my Chromebook. So give me a second while I switch over. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Google Play Store. I have pinned right here on my launcher shelf. You may also, if you do not, you can go over here to the launcher button and expand it. Then there's this arrow up, and that's going to show you all your apps. So the Play Store is right here. It's like a triangle, kind of like a play button with the Google colors. So I'll go ahead and click on that. At the top, we'll find the search bar. In addition to having Microsoft Office, they have a lot of apps. Just think the same as for your phone or for your tablet, so you feel free to browse the App Store for something for your Chromebook. But so once you start, you're going to type Microsoft Office, and then you can just hit enter. Right, and here it is, Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So what we want to do is go over here to this green button that says install. We hit install. We're just going to wait for it. You do need to have an internet connection to make sure that this works. All right, so it downloaded, now it's installing. It just takes a couple of minutes. So we'll wait for it here. Hope everyone's doing all right and following along. Okay. All right, so now it's installed. So you can see that this green button has now changed and it says open. You can go ahead and press that open button and it's going to open Microsoft Office for you. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to ask you if it's allowed to access your photos and media and files on this device. You're going to want to say allow. All right, and then we're going to get started. It's going to take you to the home screen. And it's just prepping and getting ready. Okay, so it's already synced to my account. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove my account so that you guys can see. So when you guys start, you won't automatically be signed in. We're going to have to sign you guys in. And you already have an account through Harper. So what you're going to want to do is, this is all about collecting metadata about what the app is doing while it's running on your computer. It's not any personal information, so you can pick if that's something that you want to do or not. And then you can read through just some extra stuff. All right, so then you're going to get to this screen. It's going to say connect account, and we're going to go ahead and hit that. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask you for your login information. So what you want to do then is you're going to put, if you're a student, you're going to put your student email. So, you know, the first part of it at mail.harpercollege.edu. And then if you're a faculty member, you would just put in your regular email address. So for me, that's not right. That's my email address. So now it's going to ask me for my password. Your password is going to be the same password you use for your portal account if you're a student. If you're a faculty, it's just the same password that you would use for your email address. Okay, so put in my password. As I am faculty, it's going to ask for two-factor authentication. Yeah. If you're a student, you probably won't get this. Finally got my two-factor authentication done, and it has now opened up to my home screen. Home. I use OneDrive for work, so what you're seeing here is some of the most recent documents that I have used. And so if you're opening this up for the first time and you've never used OneDrive before, yours is going to be blank. So don't be surprised. What we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of navigation here. So you are now, we've downloaded Office 365 and we've logged into the 365 account, and now I want to show you something. So I'm going to close out of this. All right, close out of that. Where do you find this app now? You're coming back to it. You know that when you went to the App Store, you pressed open and it opened, but where did it go? So it is stored in your launcher. So we'll go over here to the button, we'll press it, and we'll expand it. And here's where all your apps are. So whatever you have on your Chromebook, this is where it is. We'll go to our second page. There are these 3 dots on the side. There are different pages where different apps are. On my second page, I only have 1 app, and you would think that would be the end. I don't know if your Chromebook does this, mine does this. It has a 3rd page for other apps. And you can see that at the bottom here, at the very bottom, those are the most recently installed apps. So since I just installed Office, here it is. So what I like to do is, it's called pin this to your shelf. And that's why it'll show up down here all the time, and I won't have to keep clicking through all of this stuff to get to Office. So we're going to right click, which means on your mouse there are 2 buttons. The one on the right side, if you just click it once, this menu will open, and you can select pin to shelf. And now it's down here, and it will always be down there, no matter what. So it's now really easy to see and to access. So that's how we do that. If you wanted to remove it from your shelf, you could do the exact same thing. So right click, this menu comes up. If you ever wanted to uninstall it, that would also work. So now that it's there, I can just click on it once, left click, and it goes right and opens my home screen. So now we're here, and we are ready to open a new document. The way to open a new document in the 365 app is at the very bottom, there's this plus button. We just click on that and tell it we want to open a document. We have Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and we want to choose blank document. It's going to open up Word for us, and it's going to give us a new blank document. And if you were to open, I'm going to open all of them so you guys know what they look like. Excel, right? Blank document in Excel. And the plus sign, documents, blank presentation for PowerPoint. And here we have a PowerPoint, right? So there's one thing I want to point out with this app. So I don't know if you noticed that when I open a Word document, the toolbar is invisible. And you might be wondering, where is it? So with this app, when you open up Microsoft Word, the toolbar is hidden, and to make it visible, you just go over to the right side of your screen. There's this down arrow. You press that down arrow, and your toolbar will show up. So this is the toolbar. This is where you have all of the tools that you would need to make changes to your document. There's one that's really important that I want to show you guys. And that's how to change line spacing. So Microsoft Word is standardly, it starts with adding a space after your paragraph. And what that means is you could be like typing along, I've got a long paragraph here, and then you hit enter, and you have, it skipped a line here, right? And maybe you don't want that, and maybe you don't know how to turn that off. So let me show you. I'm going to backspace here. I'm back at the end of my paragraph. I can go to this paragraph button. We're going to click on that, line paragraph spacing tool, and then we're going to just click on this remove space after paragraph. All right, so now when I hit enter, I'm just on the next line like normal, right? The other thing you can do is you can change your line spacing. And how you can do that is you're just going to select all. I like to use a Control A button for that. So you hit Control and A at the same time. Or you can do like a little drag across. I feel like it's really finicky on the Chromebook, but if I hit Control A, it just does it. And then we go to that same line and spacing, and we can change it. And what this does is change the distance between the lines. So that's like 1.15. Here's 1.5 or 2. So sometimes when you're writing papers, professors will have different requirements as to how the line spacing should be. I remember like when I was in high school, my professor always had us do a spacing of 2. That way they could like write notes in there if they needed to. So if you ever need to change your line spacing, that's where it is. And it's just not a thing that commonly known. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that. Yeah, so you have your font here, your font size, your bold, your italicized, your underlines. So that's all the tools in the Home tab. We also have the Insert tab. That's where you can insert pictures. Let's see. So you can do like photos. They're like saved on your computer. You have the Draw tab, which is like, so this app was really designed for like touch screen devices where this really makes sense. It wasn't like super intuitive for the Chromebook, although it does function. So layout, this is where you can change your margins. Normal margins are 1 inch on all sides, but you could change it to narrow, or if you did custom margins, you could pick your own margins. Another thing that's really helpful to know, orientation, so or landscape. Review, and then view. So the one thing I really want to show you guys is, once again, these are designed for like touch screens. So right now we're viewing it at 100%. If you press one page, it's going to show that entire page on your screen. And you're like, there's no button for in between. And you're absolutely right. There is no button for in between. Once again, this app's designed for mobile devices with touch screens. So what you're going to do is you're going to use a pinch method using your mouse, right? Your trackpad. So what you want to do, just like you would do on a screen, is if you drag your fingers, your thumb and your index fingers from either side of your trackpad together, it's going to get smaller. And if you push your fingers apart while dragging them, it's going to get bigger, right? We've got the little handlebars at the sides where you can navigate. So that's how you can make it bigger. you can focus in on one area. The Chromebooks have really small screens, so sometimes it is hard to see, so it is good to know how to, you know, zoom in to see what you're working on, but then you can go to one page and see how everything looks on your page too. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to show you guys how to save a document. So we had mentioned earlier that the saving is going to be connected to your cloud storage. When you log in, it will automatically connect you to your OneDrive account through Harper. You can go ahead and save everything there, or if you prefer, if you go to Save As. So let's talk about how I got there real quick. Like in any Microsoft platform, we're going to File and then Save. The nice thing is, since you are connected to the internet while using this app, it will automatically save as you're going, so you don't really have to worry so much as like stopping periodically and saving, although I do believe that's a good rule of thumb, and I'm not against that. It does save automatically. I always just make sure that before I close a document, I make sure to save it just in case. You never know, and it's always better safe than sorry. So once again, so we're here, we want to save a document, and we don't want to save it to our OneDrive. You can add, okay, so first of all, you could add it to your Google account, which is here, or we can add a place. So these are different, like here's Dropbox, on some other different cloud storages that you can connect to and save to if you want, or you can save to this device. Now, the Chromebooks are not set up with a lot of storage internally. That's part of what makes them a mobile device. So it's not recommended to store things on your device for long term. The best use of storing something on this device is then to transfer it to USB storage. There's no way to directly save to external storage, such as a USB flash drive, because tablets and phones and a lot of mobile devices don't actually have a USB drive. So when Microsoft came up with this, they did not add that function. Well, what's smart about the Chromebook is you can save it to this device, right? Save it, and then you can go to your files. So go to your launcher, and then to your files. And if you have storage, it will show up here. And you could take this, the downloaded files, right, that are on your device and move them to your USB drive would show up over here. I don't have one currently connected. And that's how you would save it that way. So there were 3 ways that you can save. You can save automatically to your OneDrive account, or you can go to Save As and save to your Google Drive account. You can connect a third-party cloud storage, or you can save it to your device and then move it to some sort of external storage. Once you've saved your document, you may want to share it. There are 2 ways or 2 options of sharing a document. The first way to share it would be to share a link. Now, everything that you save here, that you save to the cloud, is on the internet. So someone with a link is going to be accessing your saved file. It is the exact same file that you've been working on. So if you allow them to edit it, they're going to be able to make changes. When is this helpful? This is helpful when you're working on a project together. A really good way to demonstrate this is in PowerPoint. So say you're working on a PowerPoint with other people with a group. It's a team project. And you have, this is my, let's see, my slide. I have my slide that I'm making for the presentation, and my group members have their slides. So then we type their slides. Okay, so I want to share this with my group so that they can edit their slides. How do I do that? Over here, we have this little, kind of looks like a crocodile mouth, chomping down. These little dots kind of makes a triangle. If you click on that, it's really like going from one person to multiple people. That's what the little symbol is supposed to represent. And now I can send them a link to the location on the internet where my document is saved. So we're going to click here, right? And what we're doing, we can change the settings. So we can change it so that anyone at Harper with the link can access it. We can change it so that only people who currently have access to it can access it. Or we can change it to specific people, which is only people that we give permission will be able to edit it or open it. If you want them to be able to edit it, you do need to make sure that you check this box that it says allow editing. The other option is if you are allowing people to see it, you can block them from downloading it, which means essentially making a copy of it and saving it on their computer. If you don't want people to do that, you can block them from downloading it, and then they can literally only see it when they are looking at the link. So what I want to do is I'm going to allow editing for specific people. I press the blue button, apply, and then right here I can enter the email address of the people that I want to have the link. So Carrie, my coworker, I want her to have the link because I want her to be able to make her slides for this presentation. So I'm going to go ahead and click send. And now she can actually open this up and work on her slide independently. It will all be together in one file. The other option is to send it as a copy. So a copy, imagine you have your copy and you went to a copy machine and you made a copy and now you have two, and now you're going to give that second one to someone else, right? There are now two versions of this out there in the world. You have yours and you are now giving it to another person as well, right? When might you want to do this? This is like a final edition example. This is what you're going to be submitting. So if you are completely done with something and you're ready to hand it off and give it away, that's when you're going to use a copy. Now within the app, you can hit share, and then you might want to say send as a copy. And then you can pick as a PowerPoint presentation or as a PDF. A PowerPoint presentation, it's going to open in PowerPoint, and then people are going to have the ability to edit or change their version of your document. It's not going to change your version, but they will be able to make changes to it. If you send it as a PDF, it will be read-only, and they will not be able to make changes to it. So if you were submitting an assignment for school, you would probably want to be sending it as a PDF. Right? The thing with the Microsoft 365 app is that it's going to ask you to install Outlook on your Chromebook, which you may not want to do. Maybe you only want to get your mail through the web browser. If you are okay with it, go ahead and tap install, and you're going to have an app for your mail now. If you don't want to do that, you can go to your mail. So you can go to the address bar and you just type outlook.com and log in. That way, I'm not sure if it's different for students. You would just log into your mail, and from your mail, you can then choose to add an attachment. And so say I want to add my presentation, and now I'm adding it. Doop. Accidentally hit the download button. That is adding it as a copy, right? So that's just another way to do it. So let's see. It looks like we've accomplished everything we came here to do today. So we downloaded our Microsoft Office 365 and we logged into our account. We learned how to navigate on the launcher and how to pin an app to your shelf. We opened a new document and we learned how to save a document, and we talked about sharing documents. We also talked a little bit about navigating our Office toolbars and how to do that pull down on the Word toolbar. So once again, I'm Rebecca. Let's see here if I can get back to... Stop sharing. Oh, there we go. So I'm Rebecca. There's my contact information again. There's also Carrie's contact information. And if you have any additional questions or you need something explained, just reach out to us. We're more than happy to help. And with that, I thank you for sticking through it and watching the video today. And I hope the rest of your day is pretty awesome.